Good morning. Our today's lesson is about visualizing percent and its relationship to fraction, ratios, and decimal numbers using models, defining percentage, rate, or percent and base, identifying base, percentage, and rate in a problem. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to visualize percent and its relationship to fraction, ratios, and decimal numbers using models. Define percentage, rate, or percent and base. Identifies base, percentage, and rate in a problem. In our first activity, the illustration on the left side is a grid paper. Can you count how many small squares are there? Why do you think there are 100 squares? Yes, you're right. Because this day, we will talk about percentage and how to visualize it. Let us find out what 7% means. 7% of the figure is shaded black. The figure is composed of 100 small squares. There are 7 squares shaded black. As a fraction, the shaded region is 7 over 100, while as a ratio, it is 7:100. Because 7 is compared to 100. The ratio 7:100 means 7 per 100. Another name for per 100 is percent. The symbol for percent is like this. 7:100 or 7 over 100 is also written as 7%. We read 7% as 7%. Percent symbol takes the place of the denominator 100 in a fraction. That is why 7 over 100 is equal to 7%. Likewise, the symbol percent replaced the term 100 in a ratio. So, 7:100 is 7%. 7 over 100 is 0.07 as a decimal. So, 7% is also 0.07. Let us try visualizing percent in solving word problem. Veronica and Ron, this is Veronica, and Ron earn 100 pesos for selling face masks. They gave their mother 80 pesos and put 20 pesos in their coin bank. What percent of their earnings did they give to their mother? What percent did they have? Let us draw model. There are 100 parts in all. So in this figure, 100 parts. The shaded part is 80. This portion out of 100 parts. We can write 80%, read as 80%. The unshaded part is 20. So from here, of 100 parts, write 20% and we can read 20%. Percent is a special ratio that compares a certain number to 100. I'll repeat, compares a certain number to 100. Special ratio. It is a ratio whose meaning is similar to fraction with a denominator of 100. Percent means hundredths, so it can be written as decimal, and a decimal in hundredths can be expressed as a percent. A short way to change a fraction with a denominator of 100 into decimal is to write the numerator and put the decimal point 2 places from the right. So it is stated here that to write the numerator and put the decimal point 2 places from the right. Percent is to write the numerator together with percent sign. This time, you will know how to define percentage, rate, or percent, and base. Because all of us likes to eat fruits, and these are needed by our body to be able for us to stay healthy and fit. So I have here a problem. In a class of Miss May, she divided her students into 8 groups. She asked the groups to select a leader. Among the fruits presented, 2 groups choose papaya as their favorite fruits. Let us analyze the problem so that we will clearly find out the base, rate, and percentage in a given problem. Let us give the ratio of the total number of groups to the number of groups who choose papaya. 8:2. Let us write the given ratio in fraction 8/2. Let us convert the given ratio and fraction into percent. 2 divided by 8 is equal to 0.25. We will change it into percent is equal to 25%. So by moving your decimal places to your right, you will get 25 and put the symbol percent. We can write 25% of 8 is 2. So let us see. We deal with 3 elements. So what are those 3 elements? Rate, base, and percentage. 25 here is our rate. Remember that to identify the rate, the symbol percent is in the number. So those number with symbol of percent, we considered it as your rate. Then 8 here is our base, and 2 is our percentage. So that let us see the relationship among these 3. To get percentage P, we will multiply our rate and base, or P is equal to rate times B. So this is our rule. In getting the percentage, we will multiply the rate times the base. The answer is the percentage. 25% is the rate. It is given as a percent. It can be expressed as ratio or fraction. 8 is called the base. It is a whole number of which you take the percent. 2 is called the percentage, meaning a part of the whole. I will repeat. 2 is called the percentage, meaning a part of a whole. It is the resulting fractional part of the base. Fractional part. After learning the definition of base, rate, and percent, it will be very easy for us to identify the base, rate, and percentage in a given problem. Why is it important for us to know how to identify the base, rate, and percentage in a problem, because we all know that we are facing and encountering different mathematical real-life situation. It is very important to know and to identify these three so you will know when and how to apply it. So to start with our learning task number 1, let us analyze this problem. Let us think of the place where we encounter percent. So, where did you encounter this percent? Before the pandemic, I know there were times that you joined your mother, sister, or you went with the family in the mall or department stores. And I know as you move around the store, you were able to see some items which are on sale. You were able to see items with percentage sign as shown on the examples below. In our picture here is a t-shirt made of 50% cotton and 50% polyester. So what does percent means? Okay, give your answer from learning task number 1. After that, you may now move to learning task number 2. Using pictures, the learner will give the ratio of the shaded part to the whole part, then change them to fractions, decimals, and percent. So our first figure, you will write below the fractional equivalent, the decimal, and percent. So these three figures have three answers. Learning task 3. Let us have another problem. Fill in the blanks with the correct word or phrase to complete the sentence. I will read it. 75% of the 40 pupils of Mrs. Santiago like mathematics. 30 pupils are math lovers. So we say that 75% of Mrs. Santiago are math lovers. So you will now write the needed answer in this space. I will read it to you. In the given problem, 40 is our base because it represents the blank. 75 is the rate because it is the ratio between the blank. And the blank of 30 pupils is the percentage because it is a part of the blank. The answer almost in my time. Learning task number 4. Let us continue identifying the base, rate, and percentage in the given problem. Write the proper table, the base, rate, and percentage of the given problem. So we have here 5 problems. Opposite of it, you will put the base, rate, and percentage. I will read number 1 for you. There are 36 fruits in a basket. 18 of them are mangoes. 50% of them are mangoes. So what is our base? How many fruits do we have in a basket? Then for the rate and percentage. Number 2. Nico deposited 500 pesos in the bank at 9% interest a year. He earned 45 pesos in a year. Number 3. In a test, Dominic got 90% of the questions correctly. From a 20-item test, he answered 18 questions correctly. Number 4. Adele has 20 pesos, 120 pesos remaining of her weekly allowance. It is 40% of the 300 pesos allowance she received in this week. Number 5. In every 7 bananas, there are 3 mangoes. 70% of the fruits are bananas. Okay, you will write the base, rate, and percentage from this problem. Let's continue. Learning task number 5. Collecting data. Making tables. Okay, let us see what are going to do here. Carlo interviewed 100 of his friends on their most viewed TV program. The table below shows the number of interviewees who choose any of the 4 programs. What you will do is to express the value in fraction, decimals, percent, and ratio form. So from the first column, you will see the TV programs. Number 1 is Starstruck. Number of friends who viewed it, 16. Eat Bulaga, 35. Magpakailanman, 30. KMJS, 19. A total of 100 friends. So you will write the fractional equivalent of this 16, decimal, percent, and ratio. Let's continue with our learning task number 6. Read the problem carefully. Identify the rate, base, and the percentage in the following problem. Do not solve the problem. Put n in the missing element. Number 1. Joshua has 5% commission rate on all his sales. If he sells 40,000 peso worth of merchandise in 1 month, how much will he earn? You may not solve the problem. You only put n in the missing element. Number 2. 22% of Shirley's monthly salary is deducted from withholding. Withholding tax yun. If those deduction total 209 pesos, what is her salary? Number 3. In a chemistry class of 30 students, 5 receive a grade of A. What percent of the students receive A's? Okay. Let's continue. Study the 100 counting number chart. So this chart has 100 counting number. And answer the following question. How many counting numbers are there? What percent shows that the 100 numbers from the chart? What part of the chart are even numbers? So you will see those even number from the chart. Odd numbers. What percent of even and odd numbers are present in the chart? Number 3, how many percent are the following? So letter A, how many multiple of 10s in these 100 counting numbers? 5 multiple of 5 in 100 counting numbers, and multiple of 3 from 100 counting numbers. Letter B, you may now get the percentage of prime numbers. What are those prime numbers? With 1 factor. And letter C, composite numbers, those numbers with two factors. So what are the percentage of those composite numbers? Read the problem carefully, then answer the question that follow. Number 1. We saw 18 big fish in a pond. 50% of them were very colorful. There are 9 colorful fishes. The vase in the problem is... Okay, put your answer in the blank. Number 2. Mr. Gonzalez received the amount of 10,000 pesos after selling a computer set cost 50,000 pesos, for he has given a 20% commission. What is the rate? We are looking for the rate in the problem. In a class, number 3. In our class, there are 30 boys. 6 out of 30 are working students. So, meron tayong 6 student from 30 are working student. 20% of the total number of boys in our class. So the percentage in the problem is blank. Okay, for our assessment, we have here 3 figures. Write the name of each shaded part as a fraction, ratio, percent, and decimal. So this is also a repetition of our activity from the top. So here, from the first figure, you will write the fractional equivalent of this figure, the ratio, the percent, and decimal number. So each figure has 4 answers. So letter B, complete the following table below using the given data. Again, the set of even numbers from 1 to 20. So what are those even numbers from 1 to 20? The ratio, you will write it in ratio, in fraction, in percent, and in decimal. Another, if number 1 is even number, number 2, set of odd numbers from 1 to 20. Before, in our previous examples, 100 ang ating kinuhanan. But this time, we are only from 1 to 20. Number 3, the set of composite numbers from 1 to 20. So, composite numbers. The set of prime numbers from 1 to 20. So, number 4, all those prime numbers from 1 to 20. 1, 3, 5 are some example of those prime numbers. Letter C, which statement describe the given elements? Okay, number 1 is rate. So, describe the given elements. It gives the total of the whole. Letter B, it always has the first cent sign. Letter C, it gives part of the whole. So, what do you mean rate from these 3 given definition? Number 2, percentage. It names part of the whole. B, it is always written by the percent sign. And letter C, it represents the total number of the whole. So what is percentage? Number 3, base. So base is it is the whole from which you take a portion. Letter B, it is a part or portion of the whole. C, it is termed as percent. Okay, let's move on with letter D. Identify the base, rate, and percentage in the problems below. Number 1, the sale price of a book is 300 pesos. Its original price is 400 with 25% discount. Okay, what is our base? What is our rate and percentage? You will write your answer in this given space. Number 2, in our barangay, 40 families are engaged in fishing? If there are 160 families in our barangay, 25% of the families in the barangay are engaged in fishing. Okay, write your base here, the rate and percentage from this problem. There are 60 members in our school band. 15% of them are from our class. 9 band members come from our class. So write your base, rate, and percentage. Okay. Next, the learner communicates the explanation of their personal assessment indicated in the learner's assessment card. So here you will write the learner in their notebook will write their personal insight about the lesson using the prompt below. So again, you will write what did you understand from the lesson, what have you realized from the lesson, and what do you need to learn more about. Okay, and that's all for today, class. Good luck and good day.